At 78, Dr. Brigalia Bum headed 6 of South Africa's 8 elections in the past 17 years. She joined the Independent Electoral Commission in 1999 and she was thrown into the deep end. She says the first 2 years were the most difficult, especially setting up a voters' roll for the first time.
To create an instrument that has to make us all feel we are one, we are all in one register, to use the layperson's language, the common voters' roll. We are all to have the same ID, the same as a nation. We are all to stand together in the same lines. Many of us, for different reasons, had never stood in one line. I mean, little things like that, which people can say, what is there standing with black people or white people in a line? That was new for all of us. But the wonderful thing is that this newness, this was the wonderful thing. South Africa were looking at it with a lot of excitement and hope.
Deputy Chairperson Mpulwana describes the first few years as going into the wilderness.
I was just thinking that, one came to the IEC with enthusiasm to serve, and nothing more than that. To say, I want to participate in building this institution that is so critical in our society, that ensures democracy is entrenched, and that's basically it. But when we arrived, the technicalities that we had to deal with, the decisions we had to make, and to make fast within 18 months to deliver the first 1999 elections, were such that we had to hit the ground running.
Commissioner Fani van der Merwe has also been with the Commission since those early years. He came from a Justice and Home Affairs background and also served the Constitutional Development Service.
I can't actually isolate them, but I think the most challenging aspect of management of elections are the logistics. To make something happen on one day that cannot be postponed or delayed, it's a huge logistical problem.
Over the years, the IEC's delivered credible polls which were accepted by everyone, even the losers. This has brought South Africa international and continental acclaim. However, Mpulwana says they've had some close shaves to ensure that everything goes according to plan. In 1999, the Commission introduced new technology to register voters without it being tested in advance. Technology has advanced over the years and is contributing to ensure the effective managing of the polls.
I still remember how the word came about that Norman du Plessis was trying to describe in the simplest language, really what I call the lay language of this machine that would just go, and take him, and he would demonstrate just to zip. And that's how this comes about. And then getting the first demonstration, and of course, everybody leaves your office so that you understood everything. And of course, I probably pretended I did, but maybe I genuinely think I did, until I landed at a voting station when the zip was being used, and then only to discover that the machines are not working. And when I arrive, of course, as a chairperson, looking terribly clever, you have to, as a chairperson occasionally, which I'm never successful in IT, arrive in this place, and they are so delighted to see me because I can now really help them, and I couldn't do so. We started, all of us, to read the manual.
Elections have also brought heartwarming memories to those who've been in charge of the operations.
I have a picture in my mind that was sent to us from Limpopo of a person who was taken to the voting station on a wheelbarrow. It's amazing. It has stayed with me for all these years.
Bum says she's satisfied that her contribution over the last 14 years have put the necessary systems in place to ensure effective voting processes. She says the challenge ahead is to highlight the fact that it's not just about casting a ballot every 5 years, but to entrench democracy despite continuing poverty and deprivation, especially among the youth.
We have to move with parties on democracy, responsibilities of citizenship. That these persons whom we are very proud of, who are now in our voters' roll, and do know how to do an X, because that's important. What does that mean, in fact? What does this sign and exercising your constitutional right of voting mean to your life? What is your own responsibility? How do we then contribute to the bigger picture And how do the political parties with us begin to nurture a society that entrenches democracy broader?
Meanwhile, there's a cloud over the appointment of the 4 new commissioners before the incumbents finish their last day on October 19th. Parliament's ad hoc committee is to vet the 10 names submitted after interviews with a panel chaired by Chief Justice Mogoeng, and is set to report back only by October 27th. I'm Saya van der Walt in Pretoria.